Greetings, everyone, from Senior Seminar, Technology and Society. My name is Nicholas Kroll, and this is going to be my introduction video that I'll be presenting to you guys. We're going to start off with, on my title slide here, obviously my name and life of the student, and that's going to be the subtitle here. And we're going to just start off with a little bit of a backstory, then we'll move into my hobbies, then I'm going to go into my final ambitions, my expectations for the class, and then that'll be it. It's going to be a little bit of a late video, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. So starting off with a little bit of backstory, I was born in the Chicagoland area in Markham. It's a city nearby, but I actually lived in Lansing for most of my life, so I was born there, then I moved here. And if you guys don't know exactly where Lansing is at, it's about 30 minutes south of downtown Chicago. So, you know, if anybody from here is from that area, around that area, you know exactly where I'm talking about, or at least have a good idea. I graduated from TF South High School, and then I went to South Suburban College for about 4 years to get a 2-year degree. I graduated there with liberal arts and general studies, so basically 2 really overpriced pieces of tissue paper. But since then, about 2 years ago, I started attending Eastern Illinois. I've been here for about 1.5 years, and I'll be graduating next semester. But when I'm not here, over the summertime or over in between semesters, I work at a local butcher shop that's nearby my house, and I've been there for the last 7 years. It's a lot of work, especially in the summertime. Everyone's buying stuff. It's a very big store, surprisingly, for being family-owned. But it's taught me a lot, even if it's a lot of hard work. So I found that very beneficial for me, especially in like a business and a work-related aired environment. But a couple extra little side notes is I'm a cat guy. Really like cats. I used to have, in my house with my mom, I used to have like 7 cats, but my sister moved out, took 3 of them with her, so now there's only 4. And just recently, I had to put one of them down, sadly, because he was sick. So, you know, it's been hard on that. But I still have one more in my house that I own. And I also sometimes I like build things for cats. I built a little basket, which I'll show you right now and see if I can move around this webcam here. Yeah. Can't see that. It's a little basket. It's attached. It's my kitty's just kind of sleeping in it. His name is Ophelia. She's a little cutie. So, I had a previous take where I promised I'd show the kitty, but I didn't. So I went back and rectified that situation. But now we're going to move on to my hobbies. So I have 5 core hobbies: anime, video games, writing, Dungeons & Dragons, and card games. And I'll just really quickly run through this. If you remember, if you've watched any of the other introductions, there's another guy who also talked about really enjoying anime, so it's really nice that I got to watch that, and him and I share a lot of similar qualities too, so it's very nice that I got to meet somebody through this. But yeah, as he said, if you watched it, is that the cartoons made in Japan, they have a very specific art style, so with that specific art style, you can easily tell it apart from an American cartoon to a Japanese one, or maybe even a Chinese one, but there's like all sorts of different genres in it, so if you ever are curious, like, I don't know what to watch, well, there's a show for everybody. If you're into actions, there's actions, dramas, there's dramas, you know, there's romances and comedies, and it's popular all over the world. There's always a bunch of people going on and watching it. There's even conventions for celebrating it, and I go to those conventions all the time. I've been to a bunch of them. If there's anyone's in the Chicagoland area, I'm usually there, in costume as well. I cosplay as some of my favorite characters that I've seen. But we'll move on now to video games, another one of my favorite hobbies. I play all sorts of stuff, from PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo, and some of my personal favorites are Halo, Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. I've also played a couple of things, just random games here and there, hack and slashes. I haven't done as much gaming as I wanted to over the summer because of work and school, but I definitely pick it up when I have the chance. I was really big into Overwatch. Nobody knows what that is. But yeah, it sums up my video gaming. I do a lot of writing too. I do a lot of creative writing here and there. I enjoy writing about topics on philosophy, art, science, and fantasy stuff. I like to write about characters and design stuff for that. I also write stories for Dungeons & Dragons, which if you guys don't know what that is, we'll cover that real quick. too. It's another one of my major hobbies, but I do a lot of writing here and there, especially if it's for school. Then I try my best to always work on my writing there. There's Dungeons and Dragons, and Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game, which means people sit down and they play, and they roll dice. And there's a story going on. There's usually a storyteller who sits there and does the narrations for the stories, while the characters act and react into the game too. But it's a very interactive and social game. You need some friends to sit down and play it, and it's a great experience for you to sit down, not only for you to meet new people, it's also a great experience for you to be able to try out stories, to see how people would enjoy them, because the whole point is someone makes a story and presents it to these people, to the players, and they go in and they sit down and they discuss things that they want to do in the story, and they do them. So it's a great way to help practice your writing if you want to work on that. But it's also just generally fun in general. So redundant, but my final thing is I like to do a lot of card games. I play Magic the Gathering, which is similar to Dungeons and Dragons. It's a little bit more on the card-based side rather than rolling dice. I also play poker, blackjack. I do poker nights at my house sometimes. Pour a drink, pour a nice thing of whiskey or bourbon, have a nice cigar, and just kind of enjoy yourself there. Win a little bit of money. You mostly lose, but if it's just with friends, it's usually just like quarters, nickels, and dimes, so you don't lose a lot. But it's still a fun time to sit down in the basement, have a group of friends come and play. But yeah, that's the basics of my hobbies. I don't really do much outside of this. I do a couple things here and there, but overall, I like to collect posters like the other guy. I think his name is David. There's a lot of posters. I too have a lot of posters that hang on the walls, a variety of different stuff. And of course, playing with my kitties. But we're gonna go ahead and move on so I can wrap this up, so I don't take up too much time because it's a bit of a late submission. I do have some ambitions for the future. Next semester in the fall, I was accepted into the Kansai Gaidai University, and that is it's a university in Japan that has an Asian Studies program. Oh, my key just came on top of me. I've also plan on working in an accounting firm post-graduation, and after that, I might go back to school for philosophy, get my MBA, or continue with the workforce. My ideal job, though, would be to work in the anime industry, for Crunchyroll or Funimation, two of the major streaming services like similar to Netflix and Hulu that do primarily anime, or another business-related job in that field. So it's something that I'm very passionate about, so it's something that I would enjoy to do. But yeah, for my expectations of the class, very simple. I want to improve my writing since I do it a lot. I want to get good grades, take over the world, as most people want to do, rule it with an iron grip. So let's all have a great semester here, and I hope you guys get a chance to watch, like it, comment it on it, talk to me, ask me questions. I'll be sure to answer as best as I can. All right, so you all have a good night now. Get your homework done.